Actually, I've seen some episodes of that show.
It's pretty good.
It's a pretty good show.
I've seen all the episodes.
Yeah.
I like the period piece stuff too.
Yeah.
Back to the topic
I like
at hand.
Crunchy Old Mom. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about Vicious then.
Vicious!
With
Oh my
Ian
god!
McKellen.
Ian McKellen and Derek Jacobi as two
how funny is that?
two
Have you heard of
old
this show?
gay guys.
It's Derek Jacobi and Ian McKellen playing an old couple.
An old
gay couple.
Yeah, okay.
It's
And every jive and everything possible. We might think someone would say, "Oh, that's offensive saying about gay people." Oh no, they are out there saying it about each other in front of everybody and bitching about the whole thing.
Derek Jacobi, an old fat guy.
It is hilarious to actually watch this because you turned me on to the show,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, "What is this thing?" And no, I had to record. I said, "I've got to have this series," because it is just humor beyond British humor. People blame that it's all kind of subdued
and dry.
Oh no, they are
Not
point
always.
blank out there. It is hilarious.
Not all British humor is
No.
dry and subdued.
No, but it has the history, not modern stuff. But this being those two, the dichotomy of the story is you've got two established thespians with major roles in modern film and television. You're just laughing your ass off, because they're playing this old gay married couple. One, Derek Jacobi, his mother is in her 90s and still doesn't know that he's gay. He's just living with his roommate just lives with him. Okay, and the dog, I'm sorry, the dog that you never see, this basically hide under a bed thing, and they keep poking it to see if it's alive. They won't let it die because they're afraid it's representing themselves, dying as old men, but then their neighbor being this young guy from a store who's supposed to be, he's straight as an arrow, and walks into this and has no idea what he's walking into because he's so naive until he finally realizes that they're hitting on him, And that's not. Then there's the lady neighbor who's hitting on him directly.
Yeah,
she's in her 70s.
Oh god, what's her?
She was in Harry
Potter as the female giant, as Hagrid.
Hagrid from the Academy, the Bobaton Academy. It's just hilarious. The last time I saw her in that episode of Vicious, you just have to pick it up, people. She had gone over to Hungary to meet a lover off the internet, and come to find out she was stranded in a leather cat suit and strapped to the bed and left there, and she was trying to get the guys to help her by sending airfare because the guy's wife said she couldn't stay. So that shows you how odd the writing is on this show. But yes, Vicious is.
No,
I'm looking at it on my phone right now, and I'm trying to recall what else I've seen Derek Jacobi in.
What haven't you seen, Derek Jacobi?
Doctor Who.
He's been in Gladiator as one of the senators.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was in I, Claudius from the 1970s as Claudius the Emperor. He was also in he's the immortal father of the
filmography right now.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm IMDbing here. I'm testing the Oracle. Okay, as we say, we run through the things. Because he was in Underworld as the immortal father of the two Corbin brothers, the vampire and the wolf.
Oh, he's only been in 136 pieces.
May I see that real quick?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Specific I'm looking for.
I'm telling you, the man is brilliant. And he played the revision of the Master in Doctor Who, as well. As Doctor Fauna. Derek Jacobi is a very recognizable actor.
Yeah.
The Borgias, that's what it was.
Yeah, he also played Cadfael back in the 90s as the
Now, and this is just from my own personal knowledge. Is he himself also homosexual?
No,
because I know Ian McKellen is.
Yeah, but he is not.
Well, he pulls it off.
He definitely. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
He plays a good thing.
If not, he's doing a very good job of convincing everyone that he is. But to my knowledge, no, he was not. Okay. But that could have changed apparently after this series. I don't know. But they play it off very, very well.
Okay, let me rein us in and get off of this tangent demon. Okay, one more topic. I don't know if you had planned to talk about this. The upcoming cinematic titles.
Well, you can break it out.
I had all this written down, and
because we gave the months and the years to them last time.
Yeah.
Of what they were coming out, as far as from DC and from Marvel.
And we don't have to name them all, month and year, but let's just say our hopes. What do we hope to get out of the cinematic universes, DC and Marvel?
Decent films.
Yeah, well, that's obvious.
You keep waiting.
Well, no, I think Marvel has given us decent films.
True.
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy was out of nowhere, and damn if it wasn't the best movie this year.
Honestly, in my opinion, the best Marvel movie I've ever seen.
I could agree with that. I really could. They did such a fantastic job with Guardians of the Galaxy.
I will give them credit. Anybody who can put wood paneling in a spaceship with a cassette deck and pull it off as your soundtrack, it's got some balls.
And I think also probably maybe the reason why I like Guardians of the Galaxy so much is because I've never read a comic book of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I've never even seen one. I never even knew it existed. So I walked into that with zero expectations.
Most people did. And that's why Vin Diesel can pull it off saying, I am Groot. And mean everything that the character did in the comic because that's all he ever said. So no one had any predisposition.
Yeah, only true hardcore comic collectors and purists knew. Because I'd heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I just didn't know anything about them. I'd never read anything of them. So I, like you, went into it with no expectations.
Where it's just about anything else that we've mentioned, we do go in with some measure of expectations.
Well, let's go with this then. What about Suicide Squad? That is a DC hidden jewel that people are thinking nobody knows about. So they're thinking it's going to be the DC's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Suicide Squad is?
Nope. Well, you stumbled me something about the other day.
It is the Suicide Squad is a DC comic book title from the late 70s. Mm-hmm. And it's basically a squad of villains, sometimes heroes, that are forced to do the government's bidding. They have explosive implants placed into their head or their body somewhere, and they are basically forced to do what
they're serving out their sentence under the control of the federal government to just do these missions. Mission Impossible-like missions.
Well, they have announced the cast. Will Smith is going to be playing Deadshot. Tom Hardy's going to be playing Rick Flag. Jai Courtney is going to be playing Captain Boomerang. Thank you.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie is going to be playing Harley Quinn. I'm excited about that.
Okay, Puddin'.
A no-name actress that I've not heard of her before is going to be playing the Enchantress, and Jared Leto is going to be playing the Joker.
You know, he might could get close, but he's not. They're going to try to do the Heath Ledger pull on it. But
you think that they're going?
That's what they're trying.
I'm hoping they.
Well, because to be fair, when I heard Heath Ledger as the Batman, as the Joker, I was skeptical.
Yeah,
but
once you experienced it,
it was
at least palatable.
I went into that with Heath Ledger. I had seen him in A Knight's Tale and 10 Things I Hate About You, and a couple other movies. So I was a fan of Heath Ledger.
I'm a fan of Heath Ledger as well. I was very skeptical that he could do the Joker.
Yeah,
and oh my God, could he do the Joker?
I was excited to see what he could do. With Jared Leto, I am like you were about Heath Ledger. I'm a bit skeptical. One, because I don't know if they're going to try and, like you said, do a Heath Ledger. He's going to play the character that Heath Ledger did. Which I'm hoping not. I'm hoping they try and do like a Mark Hamill style Joker.
I could see that being pulled off pretty easily.
Yeah.
Because that kind of surprised me too from the Batman with Mark Hamill playing the Joker.
Yeah, and
it's a whooping you're gonna want.
He does a good job. I don't want it to be I don't want it to be.
It wasn't all camp.
Cesar Romero Joker.
No.
But
No.
I want it to be a little bit more of a funny joke.
Yeah.
But I mean, that people were thinking it's going to be the Guardians of the Galaxy for DC.
Well, we can only hope. They deserve their shot.
Then we've got Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, which is going to be having, Batman and Superman.
You better, otherwise the thing's a total misleader.
And then it's going to have cameos of Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and I want to say Green Lantern, or maybe the Flash.
Gosh. This whole Justice League thing is...
Oh, by the way, not to throw a tangent in there, but I'm going to do so anyway, since we're talking about future hopes. Yeah, I just don't have much hopes for that. To touch on Man of Steel for a moment, thank God I never paid money to see that in the movie theater. I watched that on demand. I cut that shit off halfway through the movie.
I thought Man of Steel was okay. I thought they could have done a better job.
Well,
I don't think it was Superman Returns bad.
No.
See? Yeah. See? I don't think it was Superman Returns bad, but it's not what I was expecting out of a Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I think the problem with that whole DC issue is they're now, after having the Dark Knight series, I don't know what they're going to do with that. If they're going to try and make him be the Bell Bat, or the Bat Bell, how is it pronounced? Bat Bell. And that thing, the Man of Steel, it wasn't that popular. And now they're doing let's start the Justice League movie without doing introductory films for the Justice League members. Yeah. I just don't think it's going to work. They've got it.
It's no Avengers.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're trying to be out the Avengers, but they're not laying the groundwork for the Avengers dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Marvel Studios, they really laid the groundwork.
Yeah.
Not only did they lay the groundwork, but they put in, 2,000 wood pylons to build on top of. And if you've seen Venice, it works pretty well.
Yep.
So much so that they've now got, 8 more movies for the next 6 years?
Yep.